If you can't manage 200k, you would not be able to manage 2 million naira. The society has done a number on us. Buying something we can't afford feels normal. Saving feels like punishment. You don't have to eat out every day. Cook your meals. You don't have to take Uber every day. You are not a bank. You are not an ATM. Help where you can, set limits where you must. Because if you are thinking you are El Shaddai, you will die. The difference between someone who has an emergency fund and someone who doesn't is the difference between a small inconvenience and a full-blown crisis. The version of you that is going to be financially free is not waiting for a miracle salary, miracle alert. It is waiting for a system. You are about to discover that you can be a millionaire. In this video, I will show you how to become a millionaire regardless of your income level. Now, a lot of us think that the problem is that I don't have enough money. Like if I just earn more, everything will sort out itself. But that's a lie we've been telling ourselves, because I've seen people who get a raise, start a business, cash out on something big, but still end up back at zero. And you can be saying in your mind, no, it can't be me. Let God just test me with 100 million naira. It can't be you. And the reason is because more money doesn't come with better system. If you can't manage 200k, you would not be able to manage 2 million naira. The zeros will just be bigger and the problems will be bigger. So the real issue is not that you don't have enough money. The real issue here is that the money you have right now has no structure, has no direction. It just enters and it disappears, and you're there wondering where it went to. And that is what we are fixing today. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Doyinsola Toye. I am a chartered accountant and a personal finance educator. On this channel, I share smart tips that help you make, manage, and grow your money. We make it simple, practical, and relatable. So if you haven't subscribed yet, do that now so you don't miss out on anything. You see, there are three faces of money, and I know it's something you must have heard before, but let me break it down the way I see it. I don't just call them three hems of money. I call them three faces of money, and that's what is important, because you cannot jump one and move straight to the next. Although people try it, but it is show. The first phase is making money. And I strongly believe that a lot of people has gotten a hang of this already. Anyone can make money, especially in this age and time that there are digital products that you can create from anywhere in the world to make money from. Even though I know that there are still a lot of people that struggle with this aspect. I have a video on this channel on businesses you can do outside of your 9 to 5 that will put money in your pocket every month. Myself and a friend, we still had this conversation a few days ago about boring businesses that are making people millions of naira. Go check it out. The second phase is managing money. You see, making money and managing money are two separate skills. Like I said earlier, anyone can make money. But this phase is where the real work is. This is the phase that separates people who just earn from people who actually build. A lot of people never master the art of managing money. And that is why no matter how many times their income increases, they are still back to the same cycle. Still borrowing before month end, still anxious when something unexpected happens, still feeling like money just runs away from them. The third phase is multiplying money, growing it, investing it, making it work for you while you sleep. I have plenty of videos on this channel covering that. Stocks, equity fund, money market fund, treasury bills, FGN savings bond. But here is the problem. Many people see investing content, they get excited. They jump straight into multiplying without ever sorting out managing money. So they invest, they get returns, they spend the returns, nothing compounds, nothing multiplies, and they are going in circles. And that is why we are going back to the foundation today, managing. Because if you get this right, everything else starts to make sense. Before we get into it, let me just say something first. Some of you are going to hear this framework and your first reaction will be it cannot work. Some of you are going to say it's too strict. Some of you are going to say, DY, I have responsibilities you don't understand. And I hear you, I really do. But I want you to be honest with yourself. Because a lot of the time, the reason we say something cannot work is not because it actually can't. It's because we've been conditioned to spend, to show off, to keep up. that the idea of being intentional with money genuinely feels uncomfortable. The society has done a number on us that we don't even know how to delay gratification anymore. Buying something we can't afford feels normal, and saving feels like punishment. And I'll be straight with you. This framework will not work if you don't have a vision, if you have no goal. If you are living for right now and you are okay with it, then it will feel pointless. But if you're watching this and something in you know that things need to change, stay with me, because what I'm about to share has the power to completely shift how you relate to money. I know you've heard of the 50-30-20 rule. Today, I want us to flip it and make it work practically in a way that actually builds something. Here is how I'll break it down. 10% tithe. I believe in tithing. And I'm genuinely surprised when I hear believers who don't believe in tithing. But hey, I'm not here to force anything down anyone's throat. It is between you and God. But for me, it is a non-negotiable, and it is the first thing that comes up first. 50% needs. Rent, food, data, electricity, your bills basically. And before you say it's not possible, I want you to sit down and take a look at what you are actually spending money on. Because the truth is, a lot of the things that we call needs have plenty of wants hiding inside of them. You don't have to eat out every day, cook your meals. All the subscription that you're paying money for, are you actually using them? You don't have to take Uber every day. As a matter of fact, my car has been with the mechanic for a couple of days. It will still be with the mechanic for a couple more days. On Sunday when I was going to church, I didn't take Uber to church and I didn't take Uber back. Because when I calculated the cost, it would be about 25k to 30k. I followed someone back from church. I reduced the cost I spent on transportation. The few days that the car will still be at the mechanic, I can't be taking Uber to work for the remaining days. I already spoke to a couple of colleagues that I'm going to join. So I have about 3 colleagues that fly the route I follow. And I already spoke to them. So I'm reducing the cost I'm spending on Uber. So I'm not sharing with you something I have not done or something I'm not doing. I've had to make these calls myself. And I've shared my story on this channel in the video how I became a millionaire before 25. And these are a number of things I had to do. This is not about suffering. This is about the fact that comfort is good, yes. Fun is good. But some level of fun and comfort that a lot of you are having right now, you don't need it. This is not about suffering. I just decided that where I was going mattered more than how I look getting there. And yes, people will talk. I am not saying comfort is not good. I am not saying having fun is not good. But all I'm saying is that some fun and comfort that a lot of us or a number of us are having right now, we can't afford it. So 10% tithe, yeah, 50% needs, 10% savings. Yes, this is saving towards a particular goal. Perhaps you're saving to go on vacation, you're saving to buy a car, you're saving to buy a phone, you're saving to buy a laptop, you're saving to buy a furniture, anything. Give it a name and give it a target. It is this specificity that keeps you from touching it. Then 5% fun. Yes, it is important that you have fun, enjoy yourself. The fact that you're living on a budget does not mean that you should be miserable. No, please enjoy your money while you're here, so that next of kin will not lavish the money and squander the money that you've been saving or investing. So have a budget for fun, 5% fun. Then 10% investment. The 10% that you're setting aside might not be something huge, but you're using it to build a habit of investing. And you don't have to start with something complicated or something out of the world. You can start with high yield savings accounts using fintech platforms like Cowrywise, Piggyvest, Ladder, etc. Or you start with money market fund while you're still building a consistent habit of saving or still learning more about other investment. As you continue to build this habit and your income grows and you keep learning more, you can look into equity fund and you can look into stocks. I have tons of videos on this channel on each of these aspects. You can check it out. 5% personal development. It can be a course, it can be a book, it can be a certification. The 5% is an investment in your earning capacity, and it pays in ways that may not show up immediately, but will absolutely show up. Don't stop learning. The people who are ahead are not necessarily people who are working harder, but people who are learning faster. So put aside that 5% into personal development. 5% black tax. We are Nigerians. Africans, even some people in Western world, they understand this. This 5% is for family needs, obligations, and all of that. The 5% is for them. But, and this is very important, when it finishes, it finishes. You are not a bank. You are not an ATM. And part of building wealth in this environment is learning to have conversations about money with people around you. Help where you can and set limits where you must. Because if you are thinking you are El Shaddai, you will die. I think people need to actually learn the art of saying no, or I'm sorry, I wish I can help, but I can't help right now. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not able to afford it. Saying I can't afford it does not make you less. Have a budget. If it finishes, it finishes. Shikena. 5% emergency fund. This is your financial seatbelt, and build it until you have at least 6 months of your living expense sitting somewhere safe and accessible. Because life will always happen. It always does. Your car will need fixing. Someone will fall sick. You might need to repair something. This and this one will happen and just come up. And when it does, the difference between someone who has an emergency fund and someone who doesn't is the difference between a small inconvenience and a full-blown crisis. This is also what will keep you away from loan apps with ridiculous and outrageous interest. Having an emergency fund actually gives you peace of mind. So 10% tight, 50% needs, that's 60%. 5% fund, 65%. 10% savings, 75%. 10% investment, 85%. 5% personal development, 90%. 5% black tax, 95%. 5% emergency fund. Yes. Now, I must say this because this is where most people get it wrong, even after understanding this framework. Don't lump all the money together. Well, for tithe, once the money comes in, you move it out. But every other thing, you have to separate it because your brain will think that you have plenty of money available and you just spend it that way. If you have a number of bank accounts, you can move the money into separate bank accounts. But a lot of these fintech apps have features on their platform that you can use in separating this money. Now, if you're watching and you're thinking, doing, I don't just want to watch a video, I want to implement this properly. That is why I created Portfolio Blueprint. Portfolio Blueprint is my program where I take you by the hand and help you build a personal financial structure, your savings, your investments, your own money system. This is not theory, this is actual work. We do the work together. The class is taking place on the 30th of May 2026. You don't want to miss out on this. The link will be in the description, or just comment Portfolio Blueprint and I will send it to you directly. Go secure your seat now. Even if you look at this framework and you think that it is not going to work for you, that's fine. The goal is not for you to copy it exactly the way it is. It is for you to sit down with your money and come up with a system that will work for you and a system that you will stick with. Stop winging it financially. Now you need to put a proper system and a proper structure in place, because money without structure means there is no direction. And money that has no direction will keep disappearing. When you start building this discipline, you start developing something called financial strength. And what financial strength does is that it opens your eyes to start recognizing opportunities that have always been there. Not that they were hidden, they have always been there. But because you don't have the financial strength for it, you did not see those opportunities. Wealth is not about anymore. I've told you several times that wealth is not income. It is actually taking control of what is coming in, managing what you are making, and being able to multiply it. So I want to challenge you this week. Sit down with your money. Face that fears about money. Look at your bank statement. Start somewhere and build something. Because the version of you that is going to be financially free is not waiting for a miracle salary. It's not waiting for a miracle alert. It is waiting for a system. When you have a system in place, you'll be able to capture money that have been leaking. Have you noticed that when you check your bank statement, for people that have that chest to check their bank statement at the end of the year, you see millions of naira passing through? It is because there was no system in place. That is why you were not able to capture the money that we're leaving, and there were a number of loopholes and money leakages everywhere. Build a system. And by the time you build a system, you start developing financial strength, and you start seeing opportunities that you have capacity to act on. You are one system away from building wealth. I hope you've learned something from this video. If you have, drop a comment, like, and share. You know people in your circle that needs this video, share it with them. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please tell me, what exactly are you waiting for? Do so that you don't miss out on anything that I share on this platform. See you in my next video. Bye.